you think of them a different way. You see world leaders, they speak a certain way, you think of them a different way. You know? Barack Obama, one of the greatest examples of that. Everything about Barack Obama was by far the coolest president that has ever existed. Just everything about the man, you know? That confidence, the smile, the swag. Like, you know, when you notice Barack, like, I would notice it in the small things. Like when he'd step out of Air Force One. He did it like no other president in the world. Normally presidents step out of their airplane in like a frumpy manner. Like, you know, there's no class or skill. Just like come out. But Barack, he wouldn't step out, he'd emerge. He'd emerge like he was stepping out of the plane and into a music video. You know, he'd just do that thing where he'd come out. And then he'd go down the stairs, doing it the only way he could, you know. The way he descended, it almost looked like every time he hit the ground, he was just gonna go into verse 1, you know? Just straight in, just like, girl, I wanna take you there, give you my Obamacare. Oh, man. Barack Obama's just too cool. You know, he had the walk, he had the talk. And that was the big thing a lot of people never realized about Barack Obama, is the talk. That's what really gave him the edge. He has a certain way of speaking, a certain voice that commands your attention, makes you feel about him a certain way. It's the accent, the way he speaks. And I don't know how many people realize this, but Nelson Mandela had the same thing. Yeah. See, the thing Barack Obama has in his voice, that is the voice of a first black president. Now, a lot of people didn't notice that because he was the first and last first black president of the United States. So you wouldn't know to compare. I'm lucky in that I've gotten to be, I've gotten to live in the country of 2 first black presidents, namely Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama. So I know what I'm talking about. They both had that thing. It's just difficult to hear because Nelson Mandela is obviously South African and he was older, you know, but they both had that thing in the voice. When Nelson Mandela would speak, a room would silence. You could feel the energy. I believe that every person, regardless of the color of their skin, should have equal rights, and they may never be taken again. To those who would seek to oppress, I say to you, never and never again. And the people would lose their minds, and people would feel the chills, because he had that thing. Like Nelson Mandela was destined for greatness because of that voice. He could not be a normal man with a voice like that. You can't do normal things with that voice. You are destined for greatness. You can't just be running around in the streets, and a Kit Kat, please. No. No. It's so unique. You can't be silly. What are you making, prank phone calls? Who the hell is this? I'm not telling you. It just doesn't work. I remember when Nelson Mandela was still alive, and he would tell jokes at press conferences and events, and no one would laugh. Because everyone thought a man who had been in jail for 27 years couldn't make a joke. And yet he still did. He still kept what was him. But it was partly because of that voice. He would tell the joke and it would just sound too epic for people to laugh. Everything he did, you know, it'd just be like, knock, knock. He'd be like, let him in, let him in. No, no, no. You must say, who's there? He is so right. We've always got to ask, who's there? Who's here? Who are we? Oh my God. It was because of that voice, the first black president voice. And I'll never forget the day I saw a picture of Barack Obama meeting Nelson Mandela for the very first time. It's a beautiful image, and it's of the 2 men in silhouettes. In Chicago, Nelson Mandela sitting in a chair,
Barack Obama leaning over him. And this was way back in the day. This was before Barack Obama was a blip on the presidential radar. He was a junior senator. Not many people knew his name. Back then, he was driving around in his own car, no motorcade, had his aide with him. And that day, they heard Nelson Mandela was going to be in Chicago meeting people. Barack Obama wanted to meet him his whole life. And so he rushed over there. And he was the last person Nelson Mandela saw, the last person he saw that day. And I always imagine Nelson Mandela was sitting in the room, and his assistant came over. She was like, Mr. Mandela, I know we said we are done, but unfortunately, there's just one person who would like to meet you, sir.
I was like, Zelda, I'm so tired. Can we leave?
No, I know you want to leave, Mr. Mandela, but there's a young man that you really need to meet. His name is Barack Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. He's American.
Yes, that's correct.
He's going to have a tough time. Where is he?
He's right outside the door.
Okay, show him in. Show Barack in.
Okay, I'll be right back. And she went over to the door. She's like, Mr. Obama, Mr. Mandela will see you now. And Barack walked in. He was super excited to meet his idol. Nelson Mandela was sitting on the chair. He looked over.
Young Barack, how are you?
And Barack was like, oh man, Nelson Mandela, man, this is the craziest day of my life, man. I can't believe this shit right now. I can't believe I'm meeting Nelson Mandela for the first time, man. Oh man, I waited my whole life for this moment. I'm like, I won't be just like you, man. I read your books, man. I saw what you were doing in prison. I was like, I'm gonna be the first black president of America. I'm gonna do the same things you did, man. I'm gonna win those votes, and I'm gonna be the first black president of America. And Nelson Mandela was like,
not with that voice. You will scare the white people.
Oh man, Nelson Mandela, this is the greatest day of my life, man. Oh, I don't even understand how you know, man, I just want to know from you, how do I do it? How do I do what you did? How do I become the first black president?
Well, first things first, we need to change that voice. You don't sound like you are going to lead anything.
I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know what you mean.
You are speaking so fast. Slow it down. You are not being chased anymore.
I never thought of it like that, man. I never thought.
Slow down, slow down.
Okay, I guess I do speak fast sometimes. I could
Slower than that.
I could slow it down. I could slow it way down. Is this good?
That's better. Now, you need to make sure you add some bass to your voice.
I don't know why that's an issue.
Imagine if I spoke like this. Do you think people would have voted for me? No, I would still be in jail. Bring some bass.
Okay, I could try to I could try to bring some bass. Is that
Lower than that.
I could go lower than that. Is that good?
Lower than that.
Lower, way down. I could keep it here. I can keep it here.
That's better. Now, very important. To be a first black president, your pacing must be powerful. Every word must seem like the last you will ever speak.
Wow, that's powerful, Mr. Mandela. Let me try to speak like that. Does that work?
That's good. Very good.
I can feel it.
Yes, now for the magic touch. To be first black president, you need to have the husk. No more husky. That's it, you are getting it now. That's it. I think you've got it. Now repeat after me. America America. No, the husk. Bring the husk back. America. 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 Yes, I can feel it. Say, this is my country. This is my country. Yes, this is my dream. This is my dream. Yes, I can feel it. You are going to be the first black president. I don't know. Do you think we can do it? Yes, we can. 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 You've got it right. Now go get them, my nigga.
So please, stay away from profanity. I said, oh, okay, I can do that, you know. And I assumed he meant swearing, right? But I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure if he meant a person or swearing. I wasn't like, no, because in Zambia, people have names like profanity. So that's how I laughed when I meant screwdriver, eh? That's the same way I laughed. Yeah, because you see, in South Africa, we have African names you can translate, like happiness, blessing, hope, those kinds of names, right? But then in Zambia, people give their names, like their children, they give their children names of everyday English words, anything. So like table, chair, car, house. Yeah, you see like this, you just have to get used to it. It's very hard, but you have to keep a straight face. Which was difficult because I met a mechanic who had sons named Brake and Clutch. And that was not, especially when Brake was running around causing chaos. And his dad was there like, stop it, Brake, stop it, Brake, stop it, stop it, Brake. And I was like, hey, stop it, Brake. But you have to get used to it. It's a cultural thing, and so you have to respect it. And the second warning Ali gave me was even stranger. We're driving through Lusaka, the capital. And Ali looks over at me in the car and he goes, Trevor, you know here in Zambia, we're a very God-loving nation, eh? I said, oh, okay, Ali, that's a good thing to know. He says, yes. So while you are here, don't be gay. So what? He says, I know it can be tempting sometimes, but don't do it, huh? Don't be gay. Don't be gay? I've never been warned of this in my life. Don't be gay. Hey, bro, don't be gay. Don't be gay. Don't be gay. Crazy warning to get. But then I found out why Ali was warning me. Turns out in Zambia, being gay is illegal. If you are found to be gay, you will be arrested and sent to prison for more than 30 years. Yeah. Which is a bit of a weird punishment. When you think about it. I mean, I'm not saying gay guys would enjoy prison. I'm just saying if I was gay, that's not the worst thing you could do to me. You'd be like, you're going to jail. I'd be like, oh no. Don't be gay. I couldn't believe this. Gay is a crime in Zambia. Which got me thinking, if gay is a crime, that means the police have to monitor it. They actually have to police gay. Yeah. Which means in their police force, they have a gay division. It's a crime. It's a crime. So that means they've got a murder unit, they've got a robbery unit, they've got a white collar crimes unit, and then they've got a gay unit. Huh? Yeah, they've got a little G unit in their police force that's responsible for all things gay. That must be the most fun police force to be in the world. You get to go undercover, dress up really nice, get in touch with your flamboyant side, you know, just have a good time. I bet the sergeant's there every morning briefing his detectives. Good morning, detectives. Welcome, everybody. Today we will be launching a sting operation. We have just been informed of a fashion show that will be taking place. And as you know, the gays cannot resist the latest trends. Therefore, we will be in full attendance to apprehend each and every one of them. Let us make sure we are here. Detective Chipua, present. Detective Table, present. Detective Mungai, present. I think he's in too deep.
Journey, having knowingly been in contact with the most deadly disease on the planet. Like, who do you think I am? That I'll be there like, I don't care. Booking.com has a zero refund policy. I'm going to Disney World, even if it kills me, Mickey Mouse, and everybody else, I'm going. Have you been in contact with Ebola? And they always said it like Ebola was like a distant relative. I love the phrasing. Have you been in contact with Ebola? Yeah, I spoke to him last week. He's doing well, eh? Thank you very much for asking. Ebola made flying a nightmare. One of the worst flights. I was coming from Johannesburg, South Africa, going to San Francisco. Flew, and then because of the distance of the flight, you have to stop over in Washington, and they change over your flight, so you go onto another plane, and then that plane takes you to San Francisco. And when we were changing planes, when we were switching over, the air hostess in the second plane tells the passengers that Africans are coming on board. Right? And so because of this, they're going to be spraying the cabin with the light pesticide. No, I understand. Like when people are afraid, they do stupid things. I get it. But what I didn't understand was why she told them this as we were boarding the plane. Have the decency to speak behind our backs. Because we're walking onto the aircraft, and she takes her little microphone, she goes,
"Ladies and gentlemen, please note we have some passengers joining us on a South African flight. They're coming from Africa. If everybody could please stay in their seats as these passengers find their place. We're going to be spraying the cabin with a light pesticide due to the Ebola crisis. And feel free to cover your nose, eyes, ears, and mouth. The pesticide shouldn't be harmful, but it may be. So if everybody would just cover up, and we'll be coming down shortly as everybody takes their place. Thank you very much."
she says this as we board the plane. This is our introduction.
Ebola crisis.
And we're there like, hello, 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 hello. Do you know how hard it is to find a seat in a plane with people that think you're bringing them death? Do you know how hard it is? Like you're sitting there and everyone you go, it almost felt like that scene from Forrest Gump. Like as I'm walking down the plane, people are like, you can't sit here. No space. I'm just walking down trying to find your Jenny. Finally, everyone's seated. We take off. Plane heads out to San Francisco. And it was by far the most tense flight I have ever been on. I coughed once. The plane shook. It wasn't even a bad cough. It was just like a little tickle. I was just like, the guy opposite me was like, Ebola! Ebola! I was like, yo, dude, calm down, man. Calm down. It's just AIDS. You're safe, buddy. Calm down. It's okay. Everyone was so stressed. The plane was tense. No one wanted food nor snacks. We finally land at the airport. The plane is taxiing to the gate, and everyone was waiting for that seatbelt sign to go off. Everyone was just, like, it was more than normal. Because already, I never understand why people are in a hurry on a plane to get out of their seat. Like, because you can't go anywhere. Whenever a plane lands, everyone's just there like, come on, come on, come on. You can't go, you're gonna go there. That's where you literally go there. It's like, come on, boom, yeah. You can't, I don't understand why people are in a hurry to go. You know who's even worse? The people at the window. You have no right to be in a hurry. You're sitting there like, come on, boom, yeah.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Yeah, pass me my luggage. Pass it to me now, right now, yeah. I'm glad I didn't sit down for 2 more minutes. This is much more comfortable.
Just stay in your seat, just wait. Ebola made it worse, 100 times worse. You know, because now everyone wants to get out of the plane, coughing, sneezing, you can feel the tension. And as we're about to leave, the air hostess comes back on the PA and she goes,
"Ladies and gentlemen, back in your seats, please. Everybody back in your seats. Unfortunately, right now, we have a health and safety official that needs to come on board just to make sure that everything is A-okay due to Ebola. We're just going to make sure that everything is fine. So please stay in your seats, ladies and gentlemen. Again, apologies for the delay."
She says this, and then this man comes on, a health and safety official, right? And he has with him a list of all the African passengers and a thermometer, right? A digital laser thermometer. And he comes on, and his job is to scan all the African passengers and get their temperature. And I think the way it works is like, if you're very hot, then you've got Ebola, right? So he's got the list. And he walks around, scans the passengers, and gets the thing, walks down, ticks their names off the list, gets the temperature, gets the names, temperature, names. Finally gets to where I'm seated. And does the weirdest thing. He scans a passenger opposite me, moves to my aisle, looks at me, looks at my name, looks back at me, and then he just shrugs and walks away. Nah. Almost as if I wasn't African enough. I've never felt so conflicted in my life. Yeah, because don't get me wrong, like, I never want anyone to think I have Ebola. But I also don't want anyone to assume that I can't have Ebola. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of. I could have all the Ebola in the world. And this guy just ignored me. He walks away. I'm there trying to cheer myself up, like, chin up, Trevor, you could have Ebola. Chin up, kid, come on, come on, come on, you could have Ebola. And he walks to the back of the plane. He scans the rest of the passengers, gets to the tail, and he realizes he's now missing a name. So he looks back through the plane, can't figure out what's going on. I know it's me, but I'm not gonna help him. Yeah. He had his chance. He had a good Ebola man and he let him go. And so I watch him panic. And as he panics, the air hostess comes back down the plane and she goes, hey, what's going on? I need to get the people out of here. He goes, yeah, I know, I got a problem on the Ebola list. I can't figure out where the passenger is. And she's like, yeah, I gotta get the people out. He's like, look, I know this is killing me as well, but I just gotta figure out. She's like, yeah, if I don't get them out, I'm dead. I gotta get the people going. It's like, yeah, I know, just calm down, just give me a second. And now you can feel the tension building in the plane. People start whispering, there's murmurs going around. Because some people are hearing pieces of the conversations, like broken telephone as it goes down the plane. All they're hearing is, yeah, Ebola killing me, people. Oh. She's like, yeah, dad, everybody out of here, dad. And it's like you feel the tension. People start looking at each other. The guy opposite me didn't even hide it. He was like, it's you, Ebola, it's you. I was like, dude, I do not have Ebola. Stop saying that. Stop saying. He's like, it's you, damn it, it's you. I'm busy coughing. I was like, if you don't shut up, I'll cough on you. I'll cough on you now. And he's like, what? I was like, I'll cough on He's like, what? I'll kill you. I was like, I'll kill you first. He's like, ah! Everyone in the plane starts losing. The people are going crazy. Everyone is stressed. People want to leave. In the middle of the chaos, in the midst of all of this, I'll never forget a Middle Eastern man, maybe 4 rows behind me, dressed in very traditional garb. He stands up and he sticks his head into the conversation being had between the air hostess and the safety official. And he goes, excuse me, pardon me. Sorry to interrupt. I couldn't help noticing what you are talking. I just want to say, maybe you want to check. I noticed that gentleman over there was coughing a little bit. The man, he never write anything for him. I thought he was wearing a hood. Something about him, I don't know, something. Just made me a little bit uncomfortable. I thought maybe you want to check. There is, you know what they say, say something. Yeah, I just, maybe you check.
The Charlize on us, okay? You keep your accent, man. Make us proud.
Everyone said that.
Trevor, brah. Hey, Trevor Noah. Hey, Masakan. Hey, man, you're making us proud, no? Yeah, man, you're doing big things for us, but brother, I can ask you a favor, no? Don't lose your accent, no? Don't lose your accent. Yeah, when you come back from the States, you mustn't come back talking funny, okay? Please, brother. If you lose your accent, don't come back.
Just threaten me? What does that mean, if you lose your accent? How do you lose your accent? People make it sound like you're going to be walking down the street and then just out of the blue you'll be like, huh? My accent! I lost my accent! What the hell is my... Oh,
Well, hello.
no, that's not my accent! That's my accent! How are you going to lose your accent? I was stressed now. Because I don't want South Africans to think I'm not South African. I don't want them to think I've forgotten something. This is my home. Now I'm stressed coming home. I'm in the plane flying back to Johannesburg, and the whole time I'm just thinking, don't lose your accent, Trevor. Don't lose your accent. Don't lose your accent. Don't accent. Is that how I say accent? Accent. By the time I landed at OR Tambo, I was losing my mind. I walked in arrivals, the woman was there at customs. Welcome back to South Africa, sir. I was like, yes, I'm back. Same old Trevor. Nothing changed. Going crazy. Because I love accents. I really do. I love accents. I like learning languages, and so obviously accents are a byproduct of that. I've learned over time that even if you can't learn a language, an accent is a great way to communicate with somebody in your own language whilst trying to bridge the gap. You learn somebody's accent, you communicate more effectively. The thing is, though, you have to learn the accent in the right way. If you're going to speak to someone in their accent and you do it in the wrong way, you might come across as racist. You've got to be very careful. about this. White people in South Africa often fall into this trap. Yeah. It happens at petrol stations quite a bit. See people driving in with their friends, talking normally, sitting in the car. So I mean, if we get all the numbers together, marketing should be behind this. It should be a breezer. HR's stepped up, and it's going to be a great year end. Look, we try and make sure that. Sorry, hold on. Hello, Baba. Hey, sharp man. Please put Lapo full tanky, 95 unleaded. Yeah. Also check our tires, Pressure, pumpy, not too much, 2.2, okay? Yeah, good jobby. Yeah, sharp, donkey boss. Don't do that. He's a grown man. He's been pouring petrol his entire life. He knows what you need. Just talk to him like a normal human being. That's the thing people don't understand. Speak to him like a normal human being. I used to get so angry. Whenever I'd see white people changing their accent when they talk to black people, I get so angry. I was like, are all white people racist? Is that what it is? You're all racist? And then I learned. Life taught me not to be so quick to judge. Yeah, I learned a valuable lesson. I was driving to Gold Reef City one day, into the backstage area, and the security guard came out to the boom, and he was like, hey, how are you, sir? Is your name on the list? I said, yes, how are you, Baba? My name is Trevor. He's like, okay, Chabal. I said, no, Trevor. He's like, oh, sorry, Chabal. I said, no, Trevor, Shalva. Trevor, Shalva. Trevor, Shalva. Trevor, Shaval. Trevor, Shaval. Trevor, Shaval. And now my friend who was irritated, he just leans over me and he's like, hey, Papa, get Trevor. He was like, oh, Trevor. Why you don't talk properly? And then I understood. I finally understood what white people have been trying to do. I see, you're trying to communicate more effectively. You're trying to engage somebody. But understand this. When speaking to somebody in an accent, the number one rule to understand is an accent is not a measurement of intelligence. Right? An accent is just somebody speaking your language with the rules of theirs. That's all an accent is. So don't speak down to them. Don't patronize them. Speak to them the way you would to yourself. Just try and learn their accent. That's all it is. It's just another accent. Yeah. And I learn them. I spend all my time learning accents. I try. I love it. America does not like change. You want to change the things Germany changed, the money, the flags, the anthem. Are you kidding me? Remember when they tried to change the $20 bill? Remember that? Yeah, they said they were going to put Harriet Tubman on the bill. People got so angry, they've postponed it indefinitely. People were furious. They're like, what are you doing? Like, we're going to put Harriet Tubman. They're like, how dare you? How dare you take an American president off the 20? How dare you take, who's on the 20? How dare you take Andrew Jackson off the $20 bill? People are like, they're not taking him off. They're just putting Harriet Tubman on the front and Andrew Jackson will be on the back. You're putting an American president on the back? On the back? That's disrespectful. It's not really. I mean, if you know your history, you would know Andrew Jackson would love to be on the backside of a black woman. So I don't know why you're so stressed. I feel like everybody wins. People were furious, though. And now you're going to suggest changing the flag? Suggest changing the anthem? Whew. There's two things I've learned living in America. It's you respect the flag and you respect the anthem. Yeah, I don't know what it means. Pack it up, leave America, go back to South Africa and escape all this racism. I said, my friend, you don't go to South Africa to escape racism. That's where you go to stock up. Are you kidding me? That's the one thing that reminds me of home. Racism out here. Because we've got tons of racism in South Africa. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten a lot better. When I was growing up, we had apartheid. And, apartheid was basically the best racism in the world.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Now you're going to feel bad and be like, oh, racism was the best. No, it wasn't. It was good, but not the best. And I experienced a bunch of racism, and everyone did. I never felt like it was a bad thing, mostly because of my family. My mother is a black woman, also a woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law, and that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like, that's not a language. Yeah, even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland. It's not just clicks. The clicks are consonants. We still have vowels. Yeah, I grew up in this family and we couldn't live together. I could live with my mom, but my dad obviously couldn't live with us because it was illegal. And people would be racist to us all the time. But I was really lucky growing up because my mom is probably the most gangster human being you'll ever meet in your life. Right? Nothing got to her. Nothing fazed her. And I remember one day in particular, we're walking through the streets together. And some guy across the road shouted something really mean at us. And I was about 4 or 5 years old. And I turned and I looked at my mom and I said, Mommy, what do we do if people do the racism to us? And mom said, oh, baby, you know what we do if somebody's racist? We take that racism of theirs and we shake it up with the love of Jesus. And then we send it back. And I was like, what? And I was like, this lady's crazy. And she was crazy, but she was also right. I didn't even realize how right my mother was until decades later, which I feel is what always happens with your parents, right? They're crazy, and then you get to their age and you're like, oh, that's what it means. I only learned the lesson my mother was trying to teach me when, as a grown man, I was walking through the streets of Chicago, minding my own business. Some guy drove by in a pickup truck and called me the N-word. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. Mostly because he was driving a pickup truck. Yeah, I just felt like that was an unnecessary stereotype that he didn't need to perpetuate. You know? I feel like if you're gonna be racist, do something different. You know, think outside the box. Drive a Prius. Yeah. It's better for the environment, and it's quiet. You can sneak up on me. We both win. But no, the guy was driving a pickup truck, called me the N-word, and to give you the full story, I was jaywalking. Right? I was jaywalking. Yeah. And I don't tell you this to justify what he did. I just want you to know that I'm no angel. Okay? Yeah. I was crossing the road, and then the lights turned red for me, but I decided to walk anyways because I don't see color. This man was so offended by what I had done that he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Get out of the road, nigger!" Oh, and you could see he wanted to hurt me. We locked eyes, and I could see in that moment he was waiting for me to be like, what that man didn't know was where I was from. More importantly, who he didn't know was my mother. Because he thought it was just going to be a regular racist day. He thought he was going to drive by, throw the N-word out the window, carry on with his life. He didn't realize that that was the son of Patricia stepping into the road. And it happened in a moment, but it lasted a lifetime. Because I didn't even think he shouted that word, and out of nowhere, my body was like, I was like, oh shit, this is it! And let me tell you something, LA, it was so beautiful because about it. All I know is I stepped into the road. He drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Get out of the road, nigger!" And I turned and I was like, "You, my nigga!" And he almost crashed and died. Yeah, I've never seen a human being question themselves so many times in a split second in my life, right? Because I was smiling, and I could see in his face, he was like, "Wait, do I know you? Do I look like someone you know?" And I don't know why he did this, but I'll never forget it. He looked at his hands. He looked at his hands like they'd somehow magically turned black, like I had cursed him with a nigger bomb. I don't even know what he was thinking. Oh, I actually felt bad for him, man. Because I've been called that word before, but that was his first time. Like, you never forget your first time. Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna what? Is that what he wants? He wants to throw the word at me and then my day is spoiled? Is that how it works? And be like, nigger, and I'm like, no time for that, man. My mom always used to say, she said, you can't control what people do to you, but you can control how you react. So I promised myself, I said, I'll never give a racist person the pleasure of seeing my pain. It may be painful, maybe hurtful, but I won't give them the pleasure of seeing my pain. Someone says something racist, I take that racism, shake it up with the love of Jesus, send it right back. And don't get me wrong, it's not always easy. Not everyone